to take two photos of women in hard light. This time, I'm using the Godox 8200 flash. With this flash, we will shine it directly on the subject without using a softbox. If we do it this way, it will produce a hard light with clear shadows. I'll show you from where you can shine the hard light and the differences in the direction of light. First, we shine the light from directly beside the subject. The shadows will grow out long ways from the side. We are using a hard light so the change from shadows to highlight is drastic. The shadows are very clear. It will become a high contrast image. Next, we place the flash diagonally in front. The flash is from the front, so the area of highlight is large and creates a very cool atmosphere. Next, we place the flash a little above the subject. The light is from above, so the area of highlights becomes even larger and the shadows mostly disappear. This photo is really cool. Next, we shine the flash from the upper left. If we press the light directly from overhead, it becomes like a downlight and the shadows on their face become very clear, and it doesn't look pretty. The light is like the summer sun shining from above, so if we turn the face slightly upward, we can display something more summer-like. Shooting a gentle and sincere atmosphere while showing the masculine side. In this video, I will explain how to shoot a gentle and sincere atmosphere while maintaining the masculine side. This time, we are shooting with a white background, but I want to make the background as dark as I can, so I will place the main light as close to the subject as possible and place the subject away from the background. For the main light, I am using a round type vortex in a 150 cm softbox, and the flash is Godox 8300. Okay, let's try taking some photos. We have the subject sit in a low chair with his body at a 45-degree angle facing away from the light in a masculine pose with his elbows on his knees. We have a large softbox near to the subject, so the light is soft and the atmosphere is gentle and sincere. The subject looks nice. However, I'd like to accentuate the background a bit more, so by using the dead light, we'll create the limelight with the background. This time, the dead light we are using is an LED light, so we turn off the room lights. The flash will flash brightly. LED light is a steady light, so if the room light is on, it will affect the picture. Okay, let's shoot. It's a nice mood, but I'd like to make the limelight brighter. We can set the shutter speed to be slower, and it will make the limelight brighter. We got just a photo we imagined. How to portray coolness and strength while using a soft light. This lighting is used to portray the coolness and strength within while bringing out the softness of a woman. This time, firstly, we will create a soft light by using a large softbox and bringing out the soft, gentle mood of a woman. The softbox we are using is the Kimira 180 cm. We will place the softbox as close to the subject as possible. We can photograph a very beautiful and gentle image. We can make the background darker by moving the subject away from the background and placing the flash closer to the subject. We'll try adding white reflection board to make the shadowed areas brighter. The contrast decreases and it looks flat. However, this may work well for an older woman. This time, we'll try using a black reflection board. Within the gentleness, there's a sense of coolness. It's very feminine. Next, to show the woman's strength, we will place a flash behind the subject and facing the camera. Rather than directly behind, make it so the light will look to be coming from over the shoulder and it will further backlight her hair and create a sparkling effect. Keep taking photos until the light looks right. It looks so nice. The main points for today are that the main light should be soft. By adding a black reflection board, you can increase contrast, which will show a sense of strength and coolness. And by adding backlighting behind the woman, we can portray both her strength and beauty. When photographing a portrait, the impression of the photo will change depending where the light is coming from. In this video, I will use a flash to show you how the photo will change depending on the direction of the light. I will use the Comet B360 flash and the Speedbox 70 softbox. First, we'll press the light directly in front and press the flash in a slightly high position. When the light is coming from the front, it gives a bit of a flat impression, and it looks like an ID photograph. When the light is from the front, you can show the shape of the figure very clearly. When it's a portrait, the eye, mouth, nose, and face shape can be seen clearly, so the lighting makes it end up looking like an ID photo. If you want to showcase makeup, it's good to use front lighting. Next, we place the light diagonally. With diagonal lighting, we can show the three-dimensionality and show highlights and shadows. The highlights and shadows will give a three-dimensional appearance. This will express the person's personality. Next, we will have lighting from the side. When you have lighting from the side, place the light lower to about the same height as the face. It will look like an evening sunset. Light from the side creates a dramatic look. Next, we'll do semi-backlighting. Semi-backlighting is light that shines toward the camera from an oblique angle. The light is shining from behind the person, so it acts as a beautiful headlight. In addition, the face is illuminated by light reflected from the surrounding walls, making it very soft. However, the face can become dark, so by using a reflector, you can make the light reflect onto the person so that the face will be softly lit, and the hair and the edge light will have a nice effect. How you place a light will depend on what kind of image you'd like to photograph. How to make an impactful backlight with a flash. Even in a situation when you can get a beautiful photo with natural light by using a flash, you can create a photo with impactful backlighting. This time, I used a Kodak 8200 flash to create the backlighting. First, we take a photo using only the natural light. The light from the window above reflects off the white wall and softly illuminates it. The natural light alone is very beautiful. But we want more of an impact, so we will place the flash directly behind the subject and try to give it some backlighting. The flash should be set in a position where it cannot be seen by the camera. How do you think this will look? There is an edge light around the body and here, making it look impactful. and it looks like a direct light is softly touching the face. Not only did the flashed backlighting create an edge light, but the light also reflects off the white wall in front of the subject and hits the face with a large soft light. It's a flat light, but because of the edge lighting, the figure will stand out. Now let's try using the flash in a more relatively strong way behind the subject. The background becomes completely bright white, and the backlighting creates a high-key image with a flare. By using only one flash, you can create a photo with impact. You can make an effective backlit camera-facing photo as well as a photo with backlight that bounces off the background. Please try it however you'd prefer. How to photograph in a situation with dried flowers. This video is how to take a beautiful photo using a flash in a set decorated with dry flowers. I will be using the Godox 8200 light. First, we'll try taking a photo using just a light in the room. There's a window in the back on the right and there's a natural light coming in from afar. The light diffuses off the wall and the colors become murky, making the image muddy. Next, we try hitting the subject directly with the flash. The image was deliberately created to look as if it had been taken with a flash, creating harsh light and strong shadows. It ruins the set with dried flowers. Next, we will bounce the flash off the right wall in the back. The dried flowers have a very beautiful pinkish color due to the transferred light caused by the semi-backlighting. Also, the direct light from the flash slightly hits the dried flowers and the shadows of the flowers is cast on the wall, creating a sense of sun through trees. The light bounces off the surrounding walls as well, softly illuminating the subject. However, I feel like there's some halation. Next, by using a reflector board, we will prevent the halation. The light from the reflector board will also reflect off the figures, making them look brighter and the photo much better. Fundamentally, backlighting is a great way to make dried flowers and other similar settings look magical. And the soft light that hits the subject makes the whole photo look beautiful. Because there is a large amount of soft light, the subject can also change position to take even better pictures. Everyone, please give it a try. How to capture beautiful scene backlight from a small window. This video is about how to photograph beautifully with scene backlighting from a small window. First, we have our subject stand by the wall and take a photo using only the same backlighting from the window. The subject is dark, so let's use a white reflection board. We will reflect the light from the window using the white reflection board and have it hit the subject when we take a photo. This photo is brighter than the last one, but still feels dark. Next, let's use a round LED light. This one is a 50 cm LED photodiox light. We will direct this light to the white reflection board and not directly to the subject. The LED light will softly reflect onto the subject. The key points are that the light should be in the same direction as the light coming from the window, and the quality of light should also be the same. By keeping the direction and quality of light the same, the photo will not look as if we are using an LED light, but it will keep the lighting looking natural. The subject is a perfect brightness. Next, let's change the color tone. To take a photo with a warmer tone, we will set the tone at 6200K. The tone is much warmer. However, we want it to look cool, so this time let's set it at 3800K. The tone is cool and the brightness is just right. Creating a summary light. In this video, we will use a flash to create a summary light. The flash we will be using is Godox 8200. First, we will shoot from the front and bounce the light from the ceiling. The flash should be set about 1 meter distance from the ceiling. We want a white balance to have a summery look, so we will set it to a cool tone with a slightly lower color temperature. We could take a nice photo from the front with the light bouncing from the ceiling. But we want it to look more summery, so let's move the flash closer to the ceiling. The flash is set at about 50 cm distance from the ceiling. As you move it closer to the ceiling, the light becomes warmer and the shadows become clearer. I want to make the photo even clearer, so I will press the flash to hit the subject directly. Because it is a direct flash, the contrast is too strong, which isn't very good. So I will try again with a flash closer to the ceiling. This time, I'll set it at about 10 cm distance. The photo is closer to what I had imagined with the clearer shadows and a weaker contrast. To lighten the shadow density a bit more, I'll use another strobe as an auxiliary. By bouncing the light from the wall behind the camera, the light will fill the whole room and we can make the shadows brighter. Let's take a photo. The shadows are clearer, and the density is brighter, resulting in a photo with a summery glow. You can express any season by changing the direction, quality, and the color of the light. Brushes are so interesting, aren't they? How to use a clip-on flash when shooting with a window as backlight. If you use a clip-on flash correctly, you can get a very lovely photo when shooting with a window as backlight. In this video, I'll show you how to use a clip-on flash and create daylight sync while indoors. First, we shoot without a flash. When shooting in aperture priority without exposure compensation, the subject will be dark because of the bright background. If you increase the exposure compensation in order to make the subject brighter, the background will end up washed out. Let's try setting the exposure compensation at +2. Now, to lighten the subject with the background in the picture, shoot at an exposure that allows the background to show up well. Change the exposure mode to manual. Face the clip-on flash directly at the subject. Indeed, it looks as if a strobe was used to illuminate the subject, which isn't quite right. Next, let's try making the light softer by directing it towards the ceiling. The light will bounce off the ceiling when we shoot. The soft light is coming from above, so we could shoot the subject more beautifully. But since the light is from above, it doesn't look natural. This time, we will try clipping the flash onto the right wall. The light has become even softer, and the flow of the light is from the side, so force things matches more to what we are going for. In this case, the brightness of the background is controlled by the shutter speed, so that it is a little more adequately brighter. To make the shot even better, by removing the clip-on flash from the camera, you can clip it onto a stand and use it as an off-camera flash. We'll bounce light from the backlight wall using the flash. Then we will place a reflection board in front of the subject and reflect the light onto the subject. It will add a lovely hairlight, and the soft light will shine on the face, making the shot have pretty lighting. The key point is, in order to create a natural light, the light should be as soft as possible. And you can control the brightness of the background by using the shutter speed. It is very difficult to find this balance, but if you can do it well, you will create lighting that is very fulfilling. Creating a sunlight through the curtains using a flash. This video will explain how to create an image of natural sunlight shining through curtains on a cloudy day. When shooting backlit photos with light-through white curtains of a large window, insert a reflector ball to reflect the light and shine it on the subject. It will become a soft, fluffy, hicky image. This is a perfectly well-lit photo, but we want to add some accent, so we place a flash outside to make it look like light sunshine is coming through from outdoors. We'll try opening the curtains. We'll set the flash up high and at an angle aiming at the subject. We'll close the curtains and make the light softer. Let's take a photo. The photo was able to be shot with natural-like light. The very soft light hits the subject, and the flash creates a sort of hard hair light. If the subject sits along a wall, shadows will be cast and it will look even more natural. Please try this out when it's cloudy. How to create a light that does not cast shadows. In this video, I will show you how to create a light that does not cast shadows. Shadows are less likely to appear when the flash is aimed at the front of the subject. Changing accessories will also change the way the light spread and the quality of light. First, we place the Godox AD200 directly aimed at the subject. It's a hard light, so the shadows are clear and distinct. We can shoot a cool photograph. Next, we try using a honeycomb accessory. The light doesn't spread, so it looks darker all around. If you want the surroundings to appear darker, this is a great tool to use. Next, we use a barn door to narrow down the light. The light doesn't spread and the amount of light all around is reduced and darker. However, be careful because if the flash is not aimed at the subject, the face will also become darker. Next, we try using a milky colored dome diffuser. The light spread even more and the background looks white. Nonetheless, the light is hard and the shadows are distinct. Finally, we place a 150 cm large round softbox and aim it directly at the subject. The light has become softer, which makes the shadows softer, and they stand out less. Could you understand the differences when using flash accessories? By making the light softer, shadows will become less noticeable.